I'm Tom Smith. I'm the founder of Complete Online. We're a full-service digital agency based over in Blackpool. So I tried further education after my GCSEs. I went to sixth form for about 3 months and we came to a mutual agreement that it wasn't the correct path for me. So I then went straight into working, found an agency that was needed a sort of junior web developer. So I went in, learnt my trade there. I think education it comes in so many different shapes and paths, from people going, GCSE, A-level, university, and then the further education past there. But for me, it worked a lot better being alongside a working environment and doing it on the job. I just learn better that way rather than spending hours and hours of revision and then constant examinations and papers and stuff. That's just not the way that my mind works. So I think it's good that you have the different options there. There's no one size fits all. Firstly, it'd be a good understanding for the product or service or role that they were coming into. So, for example, if it was a junior web developer that they were coming into the position here, just to know that they understand. So, like the platform we use is WordPress, but they understand code, they understand the expectations, they understand how front and back end things work. Given that they're wanting to go into that job, they're not just thinking, "Oh, that would be cool. I'd like to go into that," but they've got no experience at all. And then the biggest thing is obviously communication, just so they can, they're not too inside of themselves to have a conversation, and they're inquisitive and are willing to learn. I think when I've spoken to other employers, I think there's still quite a gap for the sort of soft skills. I know that the colleges that I've spoken to, they are trying, and I think some of the stuff that we're doing currently is to aid that with the sort of test interviews and getting out there and speaking to other people. I think people are just a little bit scared of the outside world when they've been in education, and they shouldn't be, but the more we can get them in front of people like myself and go in and speak to them, and the more sort of comfortable they're going to be around that. It's like anything, isn't it? The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Being present, so eye contact, making sure that it's clear that you're listening to what the employee's saying, asking questions, being inquisitive. It doesn't matter what the question is, it just shows that you're keen and you understand that. And then, just the biggest one for me personally would be confidence. I know it doesn't come naturally to some people, but if someone had lesser grades, but you could see they were confident and you could see they wanted to learn, and you could see they were, really engaged with the interviews, and that would be more enticing for me than someone who's a bit, more, higher academic, but a bit more inside themselves. It would fit more with our culture if they like that. You don't have to decide at 16 years old what you want to do. You can change your mind and that sort of stuff. But I think having a clear vision of what you want to do does help. And I think I'd advise anyone to go and, if you can do a day's work experience in these different sectors, or try different things, or go to different career fairs and see what resonates with you, what gets your sort of blood flowing, then I'd just properly do a bit of due diligence before you sort of dive straight into another career.